All right, cool, perfect. All right, guys, we are recording now. So, all right, so we can start the class now. All right, the good thing about it is that we're going to be recording all these videos. So if you guys have missed, you guys are in an appointment or on vacation or any of this stuff, you guys can come back anytime. We're going to create a library. We're going to have all these different classes that I'm putting on. It's going to help you guys and help me out too. That way I don't constantly have to repeat myself, because the investing side, to be quite honest with you, it does take time. But once you get the formulas down and all that stuff, you guys can go back to my library. I'm going to create 4 or 5 different classes. So you'll see chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Today's class is going to be real estate investment introduction, right? So I'm just going to give you guys some ideas of how to get started in investing, right? So the first thing you got to look at is income, right? We just talked about income. So your income needs to ramp up, right? So that's what I mean by sacrificing, right? Whatever it is, you just don't work with no end goal, right? You're just going to continue to work all your life. Okay, so you got to have an end goal, right? So your end goal is to work. Number 2 is savings, right? Have your savings, right? Have a goal, like I need to have X, Y, Z, right? And number 3 is investing, right? So you got income, 1, savings, 2, investment, 3. Okay, so that's your formula right there, right? This is entry level. Okay, as we get into step 1 and step 2 and step 3, I'm going to start breaking it all down. Like, what's a good deal? How to invest? What are we investing in? What are we putting into the property? How we're looking at our ROI and all that different stuff. But today I just want to open up your mind and kind of give you the first step of how to get into the investment world. Right. And you got to understand, like, when you sacrifice for something, right, whether it's for yourself, for your family, for your kids, for your grandkids, you know, or for retirement, whatever it is you got to do, right, at a certain point, there's need to be like a sacrifice. And this is what I mean, your income. Your income, you got to work for something, right, and rev up your income, right? But the truth is that portion that you're going to invest, right, whether it's a year or 2 or 3 years, right, it's hard work. It's hard work. I understand it. I've been there. I've had to sacrifice so much in my youth. You know, I sacrificed my 20s. I sacrificed my 30s. You know, I worked like a dog, you know, 50, 60 hours. You know, I had to do all that stuff. Now, bottom line is, what are we going to get the return out of it, right? So once we generate enough income, right, then we're going to pad our savings, right? Our savings, and then we need to invest, right? And I'm going to give you guys some tips, because I know you guys all kick ass, and I know you guys can sell. I know you guys can make. I know the people that are on. I know you guys can make a ton of money, right? So I don't think that the income is an issue for you guys. And if you guys want to get some refreshers as far as what we're doing different from, you know, a couple of years from now, stay tuned with our classes, because we're always changing up things and stuff like that. That's going to help you stay on top of the market. But the bottom line is, the income should not be a big issue for you guys, because the real estate game doesn't change that much. The savings, right? The savings is where I see a lot of investors that they get emotionally tied to it. Okay, and you got to understand one thing: you got to use money as a tool. Okay, you got to use money as a weapon. Okay, you got to use money without fear. Okay, and that's where a lot of people get a little drawn in, right? They get a little bit what I call alligator arms, right? And you got to understand, there's always a risk versus reward. Okay, and as realtors, trust me, it's nice to wake up and look at your bank account and have a nice cushion, right? A good padding, right? Where you feel good, warm inside, and, you know, life is great, right? But to be quite honest with you, you're never going to go rich. You're never going to be wealthy by saving money. Okay, the people that go rich, the people that go wealthy, and the people that build generation worth of income, right? They do it by investing, guys. They do it by investing. Okay, but I want to get that mind, you know, get you guys the right mindset to understand you got to use money like a weapon. You got to use money without fear. Okay, so the third step is investing, and you guys know your market. You guys understand. You guys see that there's potential in certain properties. So you got to understand that. And then the last part is you got to be fearless. Okay. So the good news is that if you are in this business for roughly, you know, a couple of years or so, you'll understand the business very, very well. You'll start to see, like, hey, could be a potentially good deal. This can potentially be a good flip. This potentially can be a good asset down the road. Okay, and properties have different avenues. Okay, as you get more and more experience, you're going to be able to understand, like, this is a good flip property. Okay, right? This is not a good flip property, right? Potential two. This is a good property that I can keep in the long haul, right? You can rent it out and collect what we call rental income. Okay, and to be quite honest with you, that's kind of like the end game. The end game, kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not too worried about creating income. I'm more worried about creating revenue, right? Monthly income, like regardless whether I decide to work or I don't decide to work, I'm generating monthly income through rents or leases and things like that. So that's your ultimate steps, right? One, savings. Two, I'm sorry, one, income. Two, savings. Three, investment. And then the last piece of the puzzle is what we call is revenue coming in, right? Residual income, because ultimately, if you have a great residual income, let's say it's $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 or $50,000. For me, it's $100,000. Okay, if you have that residual income, then you have the freedom to do whatever it is you want to do, right? If you have $50,000 coming at you every month, whether you decide you sell a house or you don't sell a house, well, there's 50,000 reasons why you have so much freedom out there, right? I don't know what your bills are. Maybe your bills are half of that. Maybe your bills is a third of that. Maybe your bills is a fraction. Maybe you don't have any bills, right? So it all depends on your lifestyle and stuff. So ultimately, I just want to come in here today and kind of share some ideas with you guys, open up your mind, understand why you're going to need to sacrifice, right? Why you're going to need to put yourself through to wrap up your income, right? And then also understand savings, and then also understand investments. And I understand that money is only good if you use it to help you, right? I always say one thing: your money needs to be working for you. Your money needs to be working for you. Okay, a lot of us realtors, we have it the other way around. We actually work for our money, right? We have to go out there because we have all these bills, right? We have all these bills, or we buy a fancy car, right? And that's what we call as a depreciation asset, right? It's actually not making me money; it's losing me money every month, right? So there's a lot of things that you can invest in that's actually going to give you work for you. That's why there's a saying that says money never sleeps. Money never sleeps. And if you invest correctly, right? If you invest correctly, you're going to have your money constantly working for you. And that's what you really want to do. You want to have your money working for you. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples just to kind of give you a ballpark idea. Obviously, the easiest investment you can do in today's world is what we call as a flip, right? You buy a property for XYZ, and you build sweat equity into it. What I call sweat equity into it, meaning like you upgrade it, right? So it's got junky carpet, trashy freaking kitchen, unremodeled bathrooms, right? Maybe a leaky roof, and so, things like that in that nature, right? And you come in and you fix all the problems that the property has, right? You're going to get it for obviously a discount, right? And then you bring what I call sweat equity into it. So now you bring it up to what we call market price, right? And in today's world, our buyers, obviously you guys deal with buyers, they don't have a whole lot of money, right? They just have the 3% or the 3.5% or the 5% or the 10%. They don't have 5% and then another 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 that it takes to get these properties up to par, right? Or at least share it out. They don't have it, or they don't want to spend it, right? So obviously those particular properties go for even they're the ones that are breaking records, right? So that's going to be your first investment, okay? Your flip, right? And you can do that. You can start out, depending where you look at. You can start out in the you can start out at the outskirts properties. Like let's say right now we're in the city of Ontario. Outskirts would be kind of like Yucaipa, San Bernardino. If you're out maybe in Victorville, it would be like Apple Valley, Victorville, and so. Right? It gets just a little bit more expensive if you go to LA, although your return is a lot better. Like I'm doing a flip right now in the city of Cypress. I bought it all cash. I spent $720,000, I think. I don't remember correctly. And our projected number was roughly about 860. The next door neighbor's house came in for sale at 860, and they just went pending and they upgraded the sales price for 900. So, we were projected to roughly make $35,000 because it's going to take about $55,000 to fix it, minus commissions and all that good stuff. we're going to make about 35,000. So now that we're going to sell it for an additional 30,000, I'm going to make an additional 30, which is going to be roughly about 65,000 on that deal. Okay. As you get better and better as an investment, you're going to spend a lot less time. Like, for example, that particular deal, I'm probably going to drive there 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times, right? I'm going to spend maybe about 10 hours of my physical time. Okay. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time to do these. That's why you can do multiple. You can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 in 1 month, right? We have agents in the Dynasty family that are doing roughly 5 to 10 deals every month that are investing, okay, that you guys can reach out to. So that's going to be your primary, right? That's going to be your first step, right? Your second and third step, and I'm going to just kind of give you a briefing on it, would be what we call as returns, right? Revenue, right? Income, right? Passive income. So those are going to be your multiplexes, your duplexes, your fourplexes, your eightplexes, your on and on and on and on, right? So as you get better and better, right, what you want to do is you want to allocate these properties, right? So if you get a property that has a zoning like an R3, right, you might not want to flip that property, right? You might want to hold on to it, rent it, build another 2, 3 units, right? And then have those pay off those mortgages, right? And then what's going to happen eventually, those mortgages will be all paid off. You might get a small sum of it back, right? Let's say I'll give you some ballparks on the deal we did. Let's say you buy it for 400, you build another 2 units for another 300, you're in at 700, right? And then your loan, let's say your loan is roughly, you say you leave 100,000, your loan is 600,000, your payment is 3,500. Okay, your total revenue on it, let's say it's 7,500. I'm coming up with these numbers because I have a unit, so I'm using that as an example. Okay, so on a month-to-month basis, it's $3,500 coming back to you every month, regardless whether you work or you don't work, right? But what's happening is that you're paying that mortgage off. If you're smart, what you will do, what I do is I double down on my payments. So every other month, I make an additional payment. Okay, so I'm making 3 additional payments, which is going to allow me to pay for that mortgage in 10 years. So in 10 years, I'm not only just going to collect the 3,500 that I'm getting right now, I'm going to collect the 7,500, right? And I have multiple units just like that. So what I mean when I say I'm going to need to get to 100,000, that's where I'm already at. Now I just need to start shrinking down the balances that I have, which I have what I call as the end goal, right? In 10 years, most of them will be paid off. And it becomes a lot easier because as one gets paid off, you can start paying down the other 2 and 3 and 3. And now what happens is you just have more money coming at you, right? Because one got paid off, now you have the 75. So you allocate the 75 to the other one. And guess what? You're going to pay that one very quick. Now you have 2 coming out, and then you can pay the other ones off. So it becomes a snowball effect. And what I'm trying to get to you guys is the last thing. It's what I call the end game, right? Because us realtors, what do we don't have? We don't have like a 401k. We don't have retirement funds. We don't have any of that stuff, right? You just have a license. Well, you guys are all independent contractors, right? But what we have is knowledge, right? And we have this experience, right? So we can build all this wealth. It's at your fingertips, guys. You guys can make it happen, okay? So bottom line, we have to look for our retirement fund, right? We have to look for our residual income, right? We're not out there like you work for a big corporation like Walmart, or you work for, even a bigger corporation like Wells Fargo, or, one of the newbie companies that have been around for 10 years like Facebook. Yeah, I'm sure if you're an intelligent guy, they'll set you up with a 401k and all this different stuff. We don't have that here. So our 401k is understanding the market and remember, income, savings, investing, and then long-term wealth. Okay, those are your 4 steps that you guys got to learn. So anyways, I didn't want to take a whole lot of time with you guys. I just wanted to go and kind of give you guys some bullet points to understand. This is introduction. So this is just our introduction class on how to change your mentality and understand that what I call selling homes is like high school, guys. Okay, so high school, you should sell a house for the first 4 or 5 years, right? hopefully none of you guys did high school for 5 years, okay? But I'm giving you one additional year, okay? We'll call that community college, okay? So hopefully you did the high school and you went to the community college, but you want to graduate, right? You want to graduate, you want to be an investor. And then past investing, you got to understand, okay, that's not the end goal, right? Because what happens is, even though you might do 10, 15, 20 flips, whatever it is, how many flips you want to do, what's going to happen? You're going to make a lot of money, yeah, right? But then you're going to spend a lot of money. Us realtors, trust me, we make a lot of money, we spend a lot of money. Okay, so you got to understand savings and investing. Okay, investing, because even like I told my wife not too long ago, we have this big huge project. I told her if we sell it, what's going to happen is we're just going to freaking go through the money. It might take 10 years, it might take 15 years, it may take 7 years, right? But in 7, 10 years, we're not going to have that money. I'm going to have a nicer car, maybe a nicer wristwatch, maybe nicer vacations, maybe I'll fly first class. I already do. But anyways, you get it, right? So you got to understand strategies, okay? And what I mean strategies, you got to understand money needs to be working for you. You don't need to be working for your money, guys. Got it? All right. I'll take your questions. If you guys got questions for me, I'll stick around for a couple more minutes. Look out for the next class. That's going to be investments part 2. And we're going to dive in deeper, right, on how do we allocate these properties, right? What's a good deal? What is not a good deal? How do we make the best out of that investment, right? Do we build units? Do we not build units? We just want to cash flow. Do we want to just take the money and run? So I'll be able to explain that to you guys. And I'm also going to dive in deeper and then kind of give you guys some bullet points on what it costs, right? Because the market is going through the roof, right? The prices, but guess what? Material is going through the roof now. Jesus, lumber. We used to buy lumber, right? A 2x4 used to cost us 98 cents. That same 2x4 is costing us $7 now. Okay, so you got to understand that the prices are going up. So you got to stay on top of this stuff too, because ultimately, what you make your money, right? What you're making money is on building something and getting a bigger return on it. So if you build it and your return is not so good, it's less profit. And I'll give you one last tip. You're always going to make your money on your purchase, guys, on your purchase. Don't, you get the little bonus and the cherry on top, sometimes like I just did on that flip that we're about to launch over here on pricing going up, but you always make your money on the purchase. So you got to be good. How do we get that? I'll explain that to you on the next classes, what to do, how to do it, how to talk to people, your contacts, and we're going to dive really deep into it. Not only with the fixing the properties, also going to give you guys some contacts on who to talk to as far as lending. I might be your contact as well too, as I'm also a direct lender as well too. So if you guys are looking for some hard money loans, I can also put you guys in touch with my money, lend it out to you guys, so I can be your hard money lender as well. Anyways, questions for me? Questions going once, questions going twice. I'm gonna turn. If you guys got questions, I'll stick around for a couple minutes. We have about 10 people in the class. Also, this class is recorded as well. So once I'm done with the recording, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it, and then you guys will get all this book of libraries, all these different classes. So if you guys happen to miss a class in the future, you guys can always go back and check them out. All right, guys. All right. So hope you guys are all having a good day. If you guys don't got any questions for me, I wish you guys the best. I'll give you guys one quick little story on how me and my wife were able to just quickly invest in this world really quick. So me and my wife started together about when I was 19 and 20, right? My first house that I bought, city of Rancho Cucamonga, I bought that house for $120,000. I'm talking 20 years ago, okay? The same house is worth $500,000 right now. But anyways, we bought it for 120. I fixed it. I put like 10, 15,000. That was a lot of money back then. I turned around and sold it for 210,000, right? So I quickly made $60,000, $55,000 at 21 years of age, right? We rolled that money into another property right here off of, if you guys are familiar with Rancho Cucamonga, it's right off of Milliken and Victoria. Nice, cute little house, 1,600 square feet. It was 1990, somewhere around there, that newer house, right? And we bought that for 188, right? 180, I remember these numbers correctly. I then did the same repeat. I went and fixed it, sold it, and sold it for 285. Okay, 285. Remember, I put all that money that I had into the other one, so I rolled it all over in here. So I sold that one for 285. And then when I bought another house, literally, and this is within a year, guys. I did this within 1 year. Okay, and then I bought another house for $285,000, right? Brand new house on top of Etiwanda, 3,000 square feet on a half-acre lot, right? And I put all that money that I put close to like 200. I had over $220,000, right? So I had a very small loan. So within 1 year, we were able to buy a, kind of not a dream house, but a very, very nice house that's worth $1 million right now, right? Now that might sound, like, hey, fine and dandy for you guys. I did make a lot of money and I lived in a nice home, but man, if I would have kept those homes, if I would have kept half of those homes, two out of those homes, I would have been a lot better off. So that was a valuable lesson. Even though I did a lot of good things and I was able to put my family into a beautiful home, and I was able to do that in the process and make money also doing it at the same time. But then I learned from there. I learned quickly. I learned it's like, hey, wow, if I would have kept those, Jesus, I would have had maybe $2 million right now extra, right? But anyways, can't live in the past. You always got to live in the present. So just want to give you guys some experience that happened to me, as I got started. That's how I got started doing investments. I've done hundreds of properties throughout the 20 years that I've been doing real estate. So if you guys have questions for me, if you guys want to talk to me one-on-one later on, or you want to shoot me an email, make sure you guys follow me on my Instagram. That's where I'm usually more active. I do some postings on Facebook, but you can find me a lot of the stories and stuff on Instagram. But anyways, just hope that I can give you guys some ideas, open up your mind, get you guys motivated, educated on getting going on your investment world. Because like I said, we don't have 401ks, we don't have any of those stuff, but what we do have is a mirror, guys. We can look in the mirror every day and we can work hard and make things happen. All right, guys. So hope you guys are all having a beautiful day today. It's lovely out there. If you guys got questions for me, you guys can reach out. But thank you for attending, and we'll see you guys in the next class. Take care. Bye.